I'm Sonia Baghdady, and you're watching Advocate Now. Here are some of our favorite moments from last month's episodes. Well, Katrina, you have an incredible story, which is why we're so glad to have you here with us today. You're a cancer survivor and you beat the disease 100% naturally. Tell us about your cancer diagnosis and what prompted you to look to nutrition and other holistic methods to kickstart your healing.
Absolutely, Sonia. Thanks for having me. I had some experiences with food as medicine prior to my cancer diagnosis. My oldest daughter had had some tooth decay, and we had been working with diet to reverse it and been successful. And the whole process had really opened our eyes to how powerful food is. And so when I got the cancer diagnosis, it was kind of just a no-brainer for me to start there, looking at natural things. I also had had a friend that had had cancer that, I had seen firsthand how ravaging the chemotherapy and the whole process with the surgery and everything was. And that wasn't really me. And so, between those two factors, it was definitely clear cut for myself.
I am so happy that we're talking about this because in Western society, I think people are really starting to acknowledge that a poor diet can harm the body, but we do really still have a long way to go in terms of recognizing how it can help heal us, because the foods we eat, as you mentioned, really do heal. So I'm curious, what did your diet look like during your cancer healing journey? And also, do you have any specific diet tips for those who are currently battling cancer?
Absolutely. So for me, because I was kind of feeling my way in the dark as I went through it, I tried a lot of different things that didn't work and tried pretty much every diet out there until I really found the research and tried the ketogenic diet. Now, I'm not talking about the, dirty Velveeta and bacon version of ketogenic that's kind of become popularized since then, but a clean, really strategic ketogenic diet where people are actually getting into ketosis is what the actual research is showing to be far and away the most beneficial for cancer clients, whether they are doing standard of care. This can actually make standard of care more effective, or if they're going all natural and doing a more functional approach. Either way, this is essential to cancer.
Yeah, because I think a lot of times we see an emphasis on plant-based diets or eating raw when it comes to cancer prevention or cancer treatment. But so it's really interesting that this is what worked for you. Do you think it is more of an individualized basis?
Yes and no. So what the research is showing and what we're understanding now is that, and this is from the 30s. Otto Warburg won the Nobel Prize for demonstrating the metabolism and its function in cancer clients is really critical. So when a cell is considered cancer, it's when the metabolism inside the cell shifts. And that shift is going to mean that it needs huge amounts more of sugar, glucose, blood sugar, to actually do its thing to proliferate. And so that's why it creates new blood vessels called angiogenesis to actually bring itself more blood sugar in order to proliferate. So we know that having the blood sugar high is going to drive the cancer. Now, when you're talking about a plant-based diet, it depends on how the person's actually doing that. Is this vegan? Is it vegetarian? Are they incorporating animal products at all in there? But for the most part, this is going to be a diet really heavily based on carbohydrates, which is going to drive the blood sugar up. And that's the main reason why, looking at something like a ketogenic diet where the majority of the diet, like up to 80%, is fat, so that you're really getting your energy as a human being for all your healthy cells from the fat instead of from blood sugar. That way, your healthy cells get fed and are able to do the work of healing while we're not feeding and driving the metabolism of the cancer cells.
And congrats on tying the knot with your partner, Chriselle Staus. You two seem to have such a loving and authentic relationship. How would you say your relationship has inspired or affected your music?
Oh, well, she's got a couple of songs on the album that she's definitely inspired. And although she's inspired, like lyrically, some of the songs, definitely she's just such a good supporter of me, and she genuinely likes my music, because before, you know, we like met, she'd actually heard of me and listened to my music before, which was nice. But yeah, she's just a great supporter. Like, she's on tour with me at the moment, and she's, you know, front row wearing the merch. She cut the merch to make it more like feminine for herself, but yeah, she's such a good supporter, and she just gets like the workload that has to come in with this career. I feel like we've got similar jobs, they're just in different areas.
Yeah.
Music and TV. So she fully understands that what it takes and the grueling work ethic that you have, and she's just amazing and awesome. And it's been fun having her on the road. So yeah, she's
Yeah,
she's here doing she's here doing another interview. We've got interviews at the exact same time.
Oh, is she right now? Yeah,
Yeah.
speaking of her TV career, Chrishell, of course, most people know that she's a star on the Netflix show Selling Sunset, and you two have made countless headlines, but your relationship has also brought a lot of positive awareness to the non-binary community. Did you expect that when you two initially went public?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. I've said in a few interviews, I personally wasn't sure about going on to Selling Sunset. It just, you know, it just didn't feel like my kind of thing, or something that would just be in my future. I worked so hard just being a musician, and like becoming a reality star was a little bit strange to me. But then we did have big chats about how, you know, us being a queer, healthy couple, me being non-binary on a show that gets so many eyes on it, and how that can change and impact the world. And, you know, after having those chats, we were like, wow, you know, you're put in a position where you can actually, you know, really help people without even knowing, by just showing up. So, yeah, we decided to show up, and we just did some low key scenes, just me and Chrishell together. But the impact we've felt already straight away when the season aired, we had an influx of, you know, hatred, but also really, really lovely, beautiful messages from the non-binary and trans community and the LGBTQIA plus community, sending us love and saying how important it is. And I just know growing up how representation is so, so important. So, you know, giving our best to represent, you know, our community is all we could do. So we decided to do it, no matter how much flack we were going to get because of it.
And you have become such a powerful voice for the non-binary community, the queer community as a whole. I want to talk about your song Waste of Space, because it's such a beautiful and honest recount of your own experience as a non-binary person. Why did you want to release that song? And were you hesitant at all to be so honest with fans?
Yeah, I feel like in my music, I'm always very honest. It's kind of like reading my diary. I always just say it how it is. And lyrically, I'm not super poetic, like using imagery and stuff. I just kind of say it how it is. So when I wrote Waste of Space, I just thought about, you know, what I was like as a kid and not fitting in and not understanding myself. And I wanted to write a song based off that. And then I released this song on International Non-Binary People's Day, which felt really good to do. So yeah, and the whole music video for it, the whole production crew, they're all non-binary and trans. So, and then everyone involved as cast were all non-binary as well. So it just felt like a very honest song and a raw song. And I haven't heard that many songs about being non-binary personally. So I thought that it would have been nice for the non-binary community to have a song that they can connect to.
I'm Sonia Baghdady. Thanks for watching and advocating. For more stories and content like this, visit advocate.com and advocatechannel.com.